Thank you for coming first to this Chinese club series of the cities in China. And this session will be uh, held by me, Zhang Guo. I'm Zhang Guo and Ziyan Wito. For most of the parts of the introductions, I will give you some explanations about the cities in China, including an introduction, what the cities in China look like, or what may impress you. And then there will be a certain kind of interaction among us for us to know more about your visits, your personal experiences, and so on. Okay, and some details about the different kinds of cities in China. I would call that different tiers of cities in China. And then another discussion will be given for us to talk about what you feel about the cities in China, and what's your plan, maybe. Okay, and then the summary will be given. And then the last part, to play Kahoot, which will be very interesting for you to maybe have a review of what we get today about the cities in China. And that part would be given by Ziyan. Okay, so that's the contents of today. And then first, about cities. We know cities. In every country there are many cities, but what is a city? What is the origin of cities? Maybe people will have different answers to it, but in Chinese, when we have these two words, 城市, are two characters. So in English, it is city. In Chinese, that's 城市. Or you can, when I pronounce it, you can just try to follow me, 城市. But you can see that it is a combination of two characters. Then it means something. And in English, we know city is just a city. It is one word. But in Chinese, first we do have cheng, which is again combined with two different individual characters. The first part, that is the wall. Originally, it is the soil or the earth. Okay, and then plus cheng, that is to give us the pronunciation, but it also means something. It's a certain kind of weapon. And then for shi, that's a market where people do business. So originally, also we can get get a hint from the evolution of this character, Chinese character. The very beginning character here, that's thousands of years ago. We can see on the left part, it is just like some city walls, okay? And then on the right side, it is some kind of weapon. So the weapon may be used to protect the city. And in the city, people live, people do business, people do everything. So that is something about these two Chinese characters, cheng and then cheng shi. First, maybe it is only for people to live and be protected, but then businesses are done there. Okay, so that's cheng shi in China. And then you may wonder, what did it look like? Now here, there is a picture. You can just have something in your mind about the ancient cities or city walls in China many years ago. So how many years ago then, you may ask? There's a city wall of one of the oldest cities in China, Luoyang. Actually, this city has been existing for more than 4,000 years. When people talk about the old cities in China from the ancient times, maybe some people or many people will list this one as the top one because it has been lasting for more than 4,000 years. But then if you go to some archaeological evidence, you may find some cities even 7,000 years ago in China, because at that time maybe there was certain kind of city states. So, but it does not exist anymore nowadays. But this city is still there. It is in Henan province. It's just in the middle of China. Okay, this is just something you may know, you should know about the cities in China and the origin. But through history, we know people began to do different things, and the society developed through history. So nowadays, when we talk about a city, people actually have different criteria for them. And these are some criteria, or say the several criteria, standards for the Chinese different tiers of cities. There's different levels of cities. Either it is first tier, or second tier, or third tier, or fourth tier, or fifth tier. In Chinese, 一线, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 一线, 2线, 3线, 4线, 5线. So that there are 5 tiers of the Chinese cities. And they are just named as maybe the first tier or second tier based on these standards. Either they are very strong business resource or transportation or activeness of city population or lifestyle or development potentials and so on. Okay. So then we come to some. Now, first, I listed all the 5 tiers. The 5 tiers in Chinese. Okay, you can just try it. 一线. I think you know all these numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 一线城市, 二线城市. Just now we had the word 城市, right? 一线城市, 二线城市. Anyone else? Anyone? I think I will just ask some of you to try. Have a try. John, would you ever try the following? The 3rd tier, the 4th tier, and the 5th tier cities?
You mean to just say something like 三城市?
Yeah, 三线.
And what's that second word you're saying? Xian?
县. That's just the tiers.
Oh, tier. So
yeah, literally. 三线城市. Yeah.
Yeah. And 四线城市.
Yes. Last.
Oh, the last one. 五线城市.
Yes. Good. So that's the 5 levels of the cities. We also have the numbers of the cities in China. Like there are 19 first tier cities altogether, in the 30 second tier cities, and the 70 third tier cities, and 94th and 128 fifth. So, but then you may have some questions about, well, why it is named, or why it is one, let's say the first tier or the second tier. Now here I'd like to give you something that you may have more, say, a better understanding. Now we can have a comparison between the biggest city of the US, New York City, right? Do you know the population of the city? The population? An idea? Maybe not. Okay, we just have it here. That's 8 million. 399,000. Okay, so that's the biggest city and the most populous city in the U.S. And now, how about China? For example, this city. This is one of the biggest cities in China, Shanghai. Shanghai, okay? And it is one of the biggest cities in China. It is a 大城市. Da. I think you know this character, right? All of you who have been studying Chinese. 大城市. That's big, very big cities. And then how about the population of this city? Just have a guess. Have a guess?
Over
15 million? Maybe 20 million?
20 million. 20 million.
over
Okay.
15 million.
Oh, almost. Okay, that's more than 24 million. So that's almost 3 times of the population as in New York City. But then this is one of, say, Shanghai is only one of the biggest cities in China. And then we do have many second-tier cities like Shijiazhuang, which is the capital city of Hebei province. I'm from Hebei province. Okay. And Shijiazhuang, Zhongdeng, that is also, we call that a kind of middle-sized, or it is a second-tier city in China. And the population, that's more than 7 million, say a little less than New York City. So the population of some second-tier cities are much more than New York City, that of New York City. So this is the kind of comparison. Of course, there is one fact. This is so because China has a much bigger population, right, in China than in the United States. Okay, so here we do have some characters that you may have in mind, like 城市, 大城市, 小城市, 一线城市, 二线城市, 三线城市, 四线城市, 五线城市. Okay, that's something really something very special that when we are talking about cities in a country, like in the United States or in China, when you look up it on a map, you can know where this is. So it is same in China. We can also have this map for you to know just like where some cities are. Like say on this map, all the cities with different colored dots are the cities with a population of more than 1 million people. All the cities, either it is red or pink or green or yellow or the blue. Okay, like say all these cities altogether, there are 88 cities which has a population of more than 1 million. And among these, there are 5 biggest, well, so say in China we call that super big, super big cities in China. The first, Beijing, I think you know this, right? The capital of China, Beijing. And just now we mentioned Shanghai and Shenzhen, which is a modern city, and it's in the south here, in the south, which is quite close to Hong Kong, in Guangdong province. And Shanghai is here. It is on the east coast of China, just in the middle here. And then another one, Guangzhou, which is just close to Shenzhen. These 2 very big cities, also in Guangdong province. And Chongqing, where is it? Okay, here, that's in the southwest part of China, which is the most populous city in China. So all these 5 big red dots, they represent the 5 very big, I say the 5 biggest cities in China. Well, so After this general introduction of the cities in China, I'd like to have a certain kind of interaction with you, and have several questions for you to answer, because I want to know first, what's your experience about traveling, about visiting cities, and what you think of the cities you visited. Either it is in the US or maybe in Africa or in Europe, anywhere, or in the United States, or maybe in China. Okay? Now, first, before we come to the questions, I'd like to here I'm not teaching, okay, but I think maybe some of you have learned these expressions in Chinese, like 我去过, that's I have been to. So the following sentence, Dory, can you read it for us? The complete sentence.
我去过中国。
Yes, excellent. 我去过中国, that is, I have been to China. Okay? So of course, you can just replace 中国 with some city names or country names. Okay? Like I have 我去过英国, 我去过美国, 我去过当然 of course you can also say I have been to Shanghai. Okay, 我去过上海, 我去过北京, and so on. Okay, so 我去过. Well, if you ever have had this kind of experience of visiting some places, maybe you will like it, or maybe not, right? So if you like it, in Chinese, you can say 我喜欢. For example, 我喜欢. How about this sentence, Andrea? Can you have a try? What's this? The sentence here.
我喜欢
The first three characters, I think, that's 我喜欢. Do you still remember this? These two characters? Which city is it? Maybe this is a little difficult for you. Okay. Another one, Lulu. Can you have a try? This sentence.
我喜欢上海。
Okay, Shanghai. That is one of the biggest cities in China. Okay. But of course, if you do not like it, you can just add no after 我. Okay. 我不喜欢上海, or 我不喜欢Toledo. but that's not true. Okay, I like Toledo. Well, you visited some places, but then if you like it, maybe you will go there for another time. But if you have some other plans, you can say 我想去. 我想去. That is, I want to visit, or I want to go somewhere. Like 我想去中国. 我想去中国. 我想去北京. Here, 我想去北京. That's we do have pinyin here. You can just follow it. We try. 我想去北京. Andrea, can you just repeat this? Try again. 我想去北京. Can you try it again?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Not quite clearly.
我想去北京。
Yes. Okay, we can hear. Good. Quite good. And there's still some other things like 大城市, that's big cities, 小城市, small cities. Or if you do not like cities, 乡村, that's the countryside. 乡村. So if you like to go to have a look at of the nature, and then you can just go to the countryside. 我喜欢乡村. Okay, so we do here we have some words. Anybody wants to have a try all these Chinese words? How about the Carter? Can you have a try? We cannot see you, but I hope I can hear you.
Which ones?
Here, about the big cities or small cities in Chinese.
大城市,
Yes,
小城市.
Yes, 小城市. How about next countryside?
乡村.
Chun. This is okay. Chun. Xiang Chun. Okay, Xiang Chun. And how about I like countryside? I like the countryside. Lulu.
我喜欢乡村。
Yes, 我喜欢乡村. Maybe this 村 is something difficult for you to pronounce, but we need some more practice. You can practice that after this. Well, these are some expressions, some characters that we can use. And in the following part, when you are answering the questions, if you can, or if you would like, I hope you can try some of these words or these expressions in Chinese. Okay? Like the first, what cities have you visited? And what did you do? How about John?
And
Just
you said,
give us one example.
Okay.
If you want to express that all in English, that's okay. But if you want to try some Chinese, that's better.
okay. 我去过北京、天津、广州等等。
Oh, you have a list of the big cities: Beijing, Tianjin, Guangzhou, and 等等. Oh, 等等. That is etc. Right? That's
Right,
and so
right.
on. So John have been to many cities in China. And what did you do in like in Tianjin?
Do you want me to say it in English or Chinese?
Oh, I think maybe English is
Okay.
is better.
I go often to Tianjin Tianjin Normal University, and I work with my research collaborators there, and I give lectures and do some work with them. So that's what I do in Tianjin. But I also have fun while I go to Tianjin and I see the sights.
Okay. Okay. So, well, that's from John. And then I'd like to hear from another one. How about Amal? Amal, are you here? What cities have you visited?
They have to be in China. I haven't been to China before.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You can just tell us other cities that you visited.
Okay. 我去 Amman. It's in Jordan.
Oh, Amman. Okay. In Jordan. Yes. Okay. So what did you do there?
Well, I'm gonna try saying in Chinese, but I don't know. 我去 Chia. Like I go to the family, to see family.
我去看我的家人。
我
是
去看
家人。
Okay, 我去看家人。
Okay. Or if you have some exact characters, or say who they are. For example, 我去看我妈妈，我去看姐姐 and so on. Okay. I think you know 妈妈、姐姐、哥哥。
Yeah, I don't know like what grandparent is.
Oh, grandparents.
Yeah.
我去看爷爷奶奶。
爷爷奶奶。
Yes, 爷爷奶奶。 That's your grandparents. Okay. Okay. Good. Well, how about still another one? How about Dory? Have you been to China? No.
No, I
No.
haven't.
Oh, where have you been?
I've been 我去过Orlando, Florida.
Orlando. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I
So, what did you do?
我去看我的家人。
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go anywhere to say some to see something?
I just visited mostly family. I've been to like Disney World and like the theme parks around there many
Uh-huh.
times. Yeah.
And then that comes to the following question. Well, do you like it? Say Orlando. Do you like Orlando?
Yeah, 我喜欢.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Why? Um, 我喜欢天气 the weather.
The weather. Okay. 天气，那个气候，一般情况。So generally, if we say you like the climate, or say the general conditions of the weather, so you can say that you like the climate, 气候.
气候.
Yes, that's the general condition of different weathers. Okay, like
What is the
temperature,
pinyin?
so on. Okay,
What is the pinyin for that?
气候, climate,
What's the pinyin?
拼音气候.
QI.
Yeah. Okay. Well, later I think you can have a check. 气候, just like 空气. Okay, 后.
Okay.
时候. Okay,
Sure. Oh, okay, got it. Thank you.
that character. Okay, thank you. Okay, and then for the second question, which do you like most of the visitors of the cities or the places you visited? How about Andrea? Can you give us something about this? Which do you like most?
Which do I like most? I don't know.
The cities, of all the cities you visited, which one do you like best?
Oh, well, I've only been to two. So, RV.
Harbin? Mm-hmm. Do you like it?
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Can you give us some idea about the things you see or the food you eat or
I like their.
the food? Okay, thank you. Well, okay. I think this is just like what we expressed just now. 你喜欢或者你不喜欢 of the cities or just something. Maybe even you can also have that either you like this kind of food, or you like the weather, or you like the climate. And then, what did you learn from the visit? Maybe this is a question that is more difficult for us to answer. So I can just ask some of you to have it in English, okay? Or Lulu, can you just have a try? If you want to have it in Chinese, you are more than welcome.
I'll probably have it in English.
Okay.
A few years ago, I went on a field trip to Chicago, and
Mhm.
I got to see a lot of places like their aquarium.
Mhm.
And I got to I got to see a few animals like a sea lion, and I thought that was really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for different people, this question may vary greatly because there would be always things that you are interested in, or there would be things that you want to learn about. I'd like John. Can you give us some more about your feelings or what you learned from the cities or the places you had been in China?
Well, some cities that I visited in China, I was just a tourist and I went by myself. But I've learned the most from when I visit the cities where my friends and colleagues live, because they show me how they live and how how the customs that people have in China that might be different than in the U.S. So I've learned kind of a lot of cultural things.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. When you are in another country, it is just common that you feel many kind of differences that are really quite sometimes even unacceptable to a foreigner. So it is. I think this is just the same, even if you are not to another country, to a foreign country, but even within this country, the United States. If you go to Chicago or you go to New York, you go to Orlando, you go to some other cities like Las Vegas, you will see different things. You will have different feelings about how these cities are, whether you like it or not, or the habits, or the living habits, the food they eat, and the way they treat people and so on will be quite different. And also, especially in the United States, there are so many different ethnic groups. So people have different languages and different foods to eat and different habits of doing things and so on. So if you go to different places, you can just know something more, something maybe even beyond your imagination. So to a certain degree, this is good, right? For every one of us. Well, after all these, where do you want to go in the future? In any plan in China? Maybe not in China, but if you have the time and money to go and visit somewhere, where do you want to go? How about Carter? Carter may be muted, but
Wait, you said me?
Yeah.
Honestly, anywhere in China I would want to go, just to see a better or a different culture than mine. Like than
Okay.
anything.
Okay. So it is really quite different experience. Say, for example, we are Chinese. We are here now in the United States. Is really a very different and quite special experience in another country. And how about Amal?
I'm gonna try saying it in Chinese, but 我想去中国.
Okay.
Like to visit China.
Okay. Which city? Maybe do you have something in your mind about the exact place or cities that you want to go?
The larger ones like Shanghai or Beijing.
Shanghai.
Like to experience the culture and big cities, and they seem really technological and advanced.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, so Beijing and Shanghai, maybe some other big cities, or some cities that may be quite different from any others. So if you go to China, I suggest that you can go to some quite different places in different parts of China. Okay, maybe say for example in the east, in the west, in the north, in the south, and also different tiers of cities. Okay, some very big ones, some second tier ones, or some very small towns which are very beautiful, which has many, say for example, historical relics, and also maybe it is famous for its natural beauties and so on. So if you want to have something more about the Chinese, I'll say that the cities in China here, I will give you a very brief introduction of some cities from China with different, standards, the several standards, you know, tiers. But here I will just have three of them from 一线, 二线, 三线. That's the first tier, one first tier city, Beijing, and then one second tier city, Chengdu, which is the capital city of Sichuan in the southwest part of China. And then another city, I don't know whether you have heard of this city, Qinhuangdao, which is the city I come from and Ziyin come from. We come from this city because Yanshan University, that's the university we work and study, it is in this city, and it is the sister city of Toledo. So it is also a third tier city, and you may want to know something about it. Okay. Now, first, the capital city of China, Beijing. This is a map of China, and you can see it is in here in the northern part of China, Beijing. Okay, I think most of you, all of you know how to pronounce this. 你去过北京吗? Have you ever been to Beijing? Of course, John has been there, and then maybe another one. I just forgot who. Okay, this city is one of the biggest cities in China, and it is the center, also the political center and cultural center of China, with over 21 million residents, people living in there. So that's the area, administrative area. And in this city, of course, there are many things that are really quite attractive, quite beautiful, and would be something that deserve watching, okay, deserve to be known. For example, here, this is the Tiananmen Square, Tiananmen, which is just to the south of the Forbidden City. If you look at this picture, to the far end of this square, that's the yellow part, or the orange, that part is the Forbidden City. Later we will have another picture for it. But here, we do have that Tiananmen Square. And here, there is a gate, which is just Tiananmen, one of the gates of the Forbidden City. It is one, if you go there, you can just feel how large it is. And then, if you want to go to Beijing, if you take a flight nowadays, you may arrive at this airport, which is one of the largest airports in the world nowadays. But it was only built 2 or 3 years ago. Okay, but now it is in use. What is quite magnificent about this airport is also that this terminal is the first terminal in the world to achieve high-speed rail underpass. Okay, I think you may have heard of the high-speed train in China, right? Okay, so maybe the first time you go to Beijing, you go to China, that is the airport you arrive at first. And then the Forbidden City. This is one of the musts in China. If you go to China, well, people will recommend something that, well, this is what you want, you should see. This is what you want, you should eat. This is what you should do, and so on. Okay, and the Forbidden City is something. I'll say is one of the places that people will always recommend you to have a look. It is so because it is one of the largest and best preserved ancient wooden structures in the world, and it has been there for hundreds of years, from Ming Dynasty. Okay, if you want to have a very good look in there, you should spend maybe several days, but not only several hours to have a quick look. That is not really a good idea. And then the next up, Beijing Olympic Stadium, which was the main stadium for the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games. Nowadays, it is still in use, and it is also one of the attractions in Beijing. And of course, the Great Wall. Now here, pay attention to the two characters for Great Wall, Changcheng. In English, here it is literally translated as Great Wall. Okay, we can see it is a wall. Just now when we are talking about cities, do you still remember the words, the characters in Chinese? Cities? What are the two characters?
Oh, sorry.
城市.
城市, yes. So 城市 and 长城. 长城 is just like a wall which is winding around and on top of the mountains to protect China, maybe the mainland of China, just like a city wall. Okay? So that's something that's related. And also, if you look at the pictures carefully, you can also notice that the city walls and the Great Wall actually look very similar, right? They're all walls. But nowadays, the Great Wall has been one of the musts to have a look. Mm-hmm. And also, when we talk about Beijing, Peking Opera, which is regarded as one of the national treasures in China, you can go to some theaters and watch. And of course, something to eat. John, do you want to eat Peking duck or the roast duck, Peking roast duck, which is quite famous? And if you go to Beijing, this is also something that you have to have a try. And something quite traditional in Beijing, Beijing soybean juice. Okay, but if you want to try something just like this is something different from Peking duck. It is quite special. Okay, it has a very special flavor. And if you want to try it, first you will have to ask some friends, especially some local friends, about how it tastes and how you can eat it in a good way. But if not, I don't think you can just try it personally. Okay, and some pastries or cakes in Beijing, which is also famous. And this candied horse. If you like it, you can also have a try, which is made from horse and sugar outside when it is cool, and then it is sticking onto it. It's crispy, sour, and sweet. Okay, that's about Beijing. And then one of the second tier cities, Chengdu, which is the capital city of Sichuan province in the southwest part. Also, it is one of the most populous cities in Western China. The other two are Chongqing and Xi'an. Just now we mentioned Chongqing, one of the biggest cities, and Xi'an, which is also one of the famous cities in China, and which has been used to be the capital of 13 dynasties in the ancient times. And if you go to the southwest part, you have to go to some very scenic spots like this Jiuzhaigou, okay, which is quite beautiful, with a great variety of nature and natural scenes like this, with very different colors, water and mountain and trees and plants everywhere. Okay, and of course, panda, which has been one of the representatives of China. Even whenever people talk about China, they say they will have panda, and the panda base is in Chengdu. Okay, if you visit Chengdu, don't forget to have a look at panda, and even you can take a picture with pandas. Okay, so don't forget. And also, Chengdu is a very important city with historical relics like this Dujiangyan, which is a program, an irrigation program, but actually it is not only for irrigation. At the same time, it gets control of the water, the flood. When it is the flood season, this program can control the water that may be disastrous for the plants on the both sides. Okay, it is still in use, but then guess what? Do you know when it was built? Okay, it was during the autumn, I'll say the war period, okay, in China. That's more than 2,000 years ago, but it is still in use. So if we go to Chengdu, have a visit. And then there's something that is also quite special of the city of Sichuan province. That's a certain kind of opera, a Sichuan opera. We can just have a quick look. This is a very short video. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, it cannot be open.
I think you have to change the type of sharing so that you're sharing media instead of I don't know. Have you done that before?
Okay, let me have a try.
I think if you stop sharing and then you try to share it again.
Can you hear it now? Can you see it? Okay, well, this is a very short one. Did you see that? Did you see the sharing of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, for this Sichuan opera, well, what is quite specific is the kind of changing faces, right? The masks. Actually, these are masks over their face, so they can change it very quickly. Some people can have it. Some quite professional ones can have it just within less than half second. Okay, and they can change it many times just within one performance. But why? Say, I just looked up and get some idea about it. This actually shows the kind of change about the character of, or say not character, but for one character when he is there to show the different emotions, different feelings, or different attitudes that is changing. Okay, that would be represented by the different masks, different face masks. Okay, that is, of course, maybe one of the origins. Okay, so well, whenever we talk about Chengdu or Sichuan province, the hot pot is also a must for you to know. But what is special about the hot pot in Chengdu or in Sichuan province? We know that is the original place for people to eat this, or to eat this way. Okay. What's special about hot pot in Chengdu? Do you know something?
It's quite
How about
spicy.
Dory? Spicy, yes, of course. Spicy, yes. Dory, any others?
I was just gonna say it's really spicy.
Uh-huh. And how about in Chinese, spicy? Do you know the character? Just one character, spicy.
La.
In Chinese. Yes, la. But yes, of course, this is spicy, la. And besides, we do have another one, ma, which is literally numb, because there is a certain kind of ingredient in it that will make your lips numb. Maybe just the first try, it will make your lips numb. So that's something special. Say la and ma. Okay, ma, la, and ma. Okay, sorry for that. That's something. And another one, chuan. Yeah, this is just another thing. Maybe just along the street, say you do have a shop there, and then a restaurant there. Maybe only one room in it, and then you can try it. But look at the shape of it. For these two characters, this is just like some meat or something on a stick, right? Just like the chuan, the exact things in it. Okay, well, you can remember. Okay, so well, that's the second city, and then the third tier city, Qinhuangdao, which is in Hebei province, and it is by the Bohai Sea to the east of Beijing, of 300 kilometers away, and it has been the international sister city of Toledo since 1985. It is more than 35 years nowadays, until now. Okay, and as I remember, it is the second international sister city of Toledo. And the first one, which is the first international sister city of Toledo? Anyone? Any ideas? Liu Yan, which is the first international sister city of Toledo?
秦皇岛
No. Qinhuangdao is the second. The first is
it's
Toledo.
Toledo is
Not in the United States. Yes, in Spain. In Spain. Actually,
okay.
we know, yeah. Actually, we know many cities in the United States have the same name of some other countries. They may have certain kind of relation with some cities in some other countries. Qinhuangdao in China, it is one of the first. I say there should be. I don't know whether it is the first, but in China, but it is the first for Toledo. And in Qinhuangdao, first we should know it is a coastal city, and it is very famous for the beach and one of the famous summer resorts in China. And also, it is one of the foremost famous bird watching spots in the world. During this season, and also I think in spring, there are several seasons or time that you can go there, and it will be the best season for people to watch. And during this season, maybe people will just go there and crowd to the beach as a wetland part and have this bird view. Uh-oh. And then, well, Qinhuangdao, why it is named as Qinhuangdao? Now here we do have a story, but I don't think we have time to have that story, but just quite simply to have that. That is Qinhuangdao. That is the first emperor of Qin dynasty. That's more than 2,000 years ago. The first emperor of that dynasty went to Qinhuangdao to ask for immortality by the sea. So that is why it is named as Qinhuangdao. It is the only city named after an ancient emperor in China. Qin Shi Huang. This is the emperor. Qin Shi Huang. That's the first emperor of Qin dynasty. It's just because of this place is named as Qinhuangdao. It is not an island. Dao, that's an island, but actually it is not an island. Okay, but it is just a place by the sea. And of course, there's another thing that you have to see, that is the beginning part of the Great Wall. It is in Qinhuangdao. Pay attention here. The head of the Great Wall is in the sea. From the sea and then up to the mountains and to the west part of China in Gansu province. You see, if you look at the map of China, you can just have you can see how the Great Wall runs, okay, from the east part to the west part. Okay, and then Qinhuangdao is a port, a very large port, and it is till nowadays is one of the world's largest export ports, especially for exporting coal. Coal, you know, in China, we export coal, and especially from the north part of China, and this is just important to export. And of course, another one you should know about, that's Yanshan University. That's where we are from, and from 1985, that's 35 years ago, it became the sister university of the University of Toledo for also 35 years, more than 35 years. And actually, the Confucius Institute at the University of Toledo is just a collaborative result of the two universities. This is why we are here and we meet each other. Okay. About food in Qinhuangdao, most famously, the seafood. If you go there, try something like this. 海鲜, seafood in Chinese, we call that 海鲜. I don't know whether you still remember this word, this character, 鲜, that's fish plus goat. 鲜, okay? 鱼, yang, and then it is 鲜, that's what? Delicious. That's delicious. So 海鲜, what's that? That's delicious seafood. Not only seafood, but delicious seafood. And also in China, there's another quite unique thing, just like dumplings, but it is named as bolo leaf cake. It is used with. It is cooked with some certain kind of leaves. Bolo, that's the leaf of bolo in the northern part of China. But it is, of course, just like zongzi. I don't know whether you still remember zongzi. Last time, in our last session, zongzi. The leaves cannot be eaten. Okay, it is just to get the flavor, a certain kind of flavor. That's it. Okay. Besides what we have introduced, we do have some other cities here. I'd like to have a very quick list. We call that top cities in China, like Wuhan, which is the largest city in China in terms of area. Okay, that's in the middle, in Hubei province. And Macau, that's in the southernmost part of China. Macau, the richest city in China. And how about this? Sansha, which is on the island of Hainan Island, and is the southernmost city in China. And Chongqing, the most populous city in China, with a population of more than that's 30 million, more than 30 million people in the city. Just imagine. And this Xi'an, just now I mentioned it, as the capital of 13 ancient dynasties in China, the most number. Okay, and here, Harbin, Angia, you went there, right? Yeah, Harbin, which is the coldest big city in China. And just now I recommended that if you go there, or if you go there again, you should go there in winter, because there will be a festival, an ice festival. Even you can eat things in a house which is built, which is carved with just a big piece of ice. You eat in there, and just imagine you can eat in there. What you can eat hot pots. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So after all these, here there are several other questions. I'm sorry, time is quite limited and the time flies. I'll be very quick about these questions. First, let's discuss which city do you want to visit after my introduction, which will be your choice if you go to visit China. Dory, since you didn't go to China?
I want to visit Chengdu in the Sichuan province.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why?
The picture was just very beautiful, and I've always wanted to try Sichuan hot pot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Food is always something that we like, right? We want to have a try. Yeah. Okay. How about Carter? If you have the chance, well, which one do you want to go? You just name one of them. Carter. Carter is not here. How about Lulu?
I'm a bit curious about Macau.
Macau? Mm-hmm.
I wonder what a lot of the buildings look like there.
You know what? It is richest. But Macau is a very small city, actually. There are so many buildings just on one small piece of land. So there are many very tall buildings, skyscrapers, so people can have places to live. Okay. How about the visitor? I don't know who you are. I don't know whether you want to have a try here. No? Okay. Just okay. How about Angia? If you want to go to China again?
Well, I was thinking how to. Maybe Beijing.
Wait? Beijing. Okay. Of course, Beijing. Amal? How about Amal?
Qinhuangdao, because it's the sister city. I didn't realize that. And seeing in the sister university, Yanshan Dashway sounds interesting. Visit.
Okay. So if you go there, don't forget to tell us in advance, and then we can treat you. Okay.
Okay, I definitely would.
And then, how are you going to introduce China after this visit? But before some others, I'd like to ask John, what's your feeling or what's your introduction after you have been to China maybe for many times?
Do you mean how do I describe China to people? Is that what you mean?
Sorry?
I'm sorry. What did you mean? Like how I talk about China to people? I'm not sure what you mean.
Yes. Just, if you want to introduce China to your friends, what are you going to focus on?
I usually talk about how diverse it is in terms of like you could see really you could like even in Beijing you can see really tall buildings and great technology, but then you can also see in parts of Beijing like ancient temples and things like that. So you just see so many different things in China.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your advice for your friends if they want to know more about China?
You mean where to visit in China, or?
Well, what kind of suggestion you will give to your friends if they want to know more about China, say to understand the Chinese culture and so on?
I mean, I talk about China with them, and I'll suggest that they talk to some friends that I have who are from specific cities where they might want to visit.
Yeah. Say, for example, if you want to know more about Qinhuangdao, say, come to me.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think that's all for what we have in this session. The last question actually would be for you to think about whatever you want to see in different places, either it is in China or in the United States or in some other countries in the world. That would be something that can be quite beneficial to every one of us. If you have a visit, also if you maybe even you just have a quick look on the map or about whether or where a city is or what kind of specific things or unique things that you want to know about, and then you will have a different idea or different understanding of what it is like. Okay, so in today's session we have some characters like yi xian. As I didn't, if you want to have a review of this, you can just follow me. 一线、二线、三线、四线、五线城市. Okay, 城市 first, of course, we do have 城市. And then we do have some characters for cities like Beijing, 上海、深圳、广州、成都、秦皇岛、城市、乡村. And also we learned some expressions like 我去过, that is I have been to some places. 我要去, or I want to go somewhere. 我喜欢, I like some places or like something. 我不喜欢, for example, I like seafood or I don't like seafood. Well, the last thing here I'd like to share with you after this session of a very brief introduction of Chinese cities is that it should not be whenever we are talking about visiting or traveling, it should not be limited to maybe only one city or the cities in one country or the cities in China, but wherever you want to go, it is good. It is a good thing. In Chinese, there is a saying like, it is better to travel 10,000 miles than reading 10,000 books. That is, through traveling, you can learn a lot, even more than reading. 读万卷书不如行万里路. Okay? So if you want to know more about China, go to China. That's the best way. Thank you.